time making this face, but it's fun. Ahem. 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 Thank you. In the top, voice crack, in the top right corner, playing Mala, once again, it is Pigeon. And his opponent in the top left corner, playing Orzum this time, it is Magicall. Magicall, I feel, more commonly plays Aru, from what I've seen. Not that I haven't seen him playing Karath, but I feel that he's more comfortable with the Aru side of things when it comes to gameplay. Pigeon, he's gonna give it another shot. I'd be interested to see him try and change it up a little bit, to try something new as opposed to going for the same strat. To be fair, he was trying to react to a little proxy on this part of the map here last game, so that was tough for him with respect to that. So he might not have been able to do what he wanted to do at the beginning of the game. We'll see if he does get to this time. If Magicall isn't a cheesy soul, a cheesy soul. Oh, that sounds interesting. But in the here and now, we see both players taking their expansions as per usual. We don't see a Legion Hall from Magicall. Actually, I lied. We do see a Legion Hall, but out on the map, right in front of this tower. And conveniently, also right in front of the PYRE camp. The only PYRE camp on this map. Now, this does lead to less PYRE-centric play, I do believe. And I am personally a fan. I can say that my playstyle definitely favors it when there is less PYRE-centric gameplay out on the map going on. This proxy, I think you can call this a proxy, right? Well, this forward base is definitely going to make it interesting because Magicall is going to be able to get his units out rather quickly and take this PYRE camp if Pigeon does not get out there and contest it. He's also going to be able to produce units a little bit faster on the front. And once again, he's going to have this tower here, so it's not going to be super easily breakable. That's where I normally see Magicall build his town hall on this map, at least when I play it against him. Here? Is that an old message? It's a minute old. Am I a dummy? You mean he put his town hall here? That's pretty impressive. We see our Neurosite coming down from Pigeon, same as last game. Another Ether Ma, so he is going to be looking to get some Ether to support that Neurosite. Another Legion Hall and a Reliquary coming down from Pigeon. So he's going to be teching. He is also getting some Ether extractors to be able to support the upgrade cost from that Reliquary. This teapot's going to come out here and it may see this this little army along with the tower. Pigeon also could have just gotten the alert that his units were being attacked and then looked at the minimap and then there's nothing there. Whoops, not Town Hall, Legion Hall. For quick Centauri range when fighting the PYRE camp. Yeah. I think he likes it. And in this case, because you're so far forward, I think it would be smart to take this base, but Magicall is Magicall and he's never going to listen to me. So now whoever got that PYRE will never know. Actually, we could have just looked and see who got it from down here, but I wasn't watching carefully enough to be able to see. So we're going to go ahead and call it Magicall based on the PYRE count. He has... Excuse me, I was fixing the microphone. Just a moment. Just getting rid of a bit of junk on the microphone. Back to this. Magi as well. So he's getting these hollowed ground really close to Pigeon. And this is kind of scary. Now Pigeon is trying to get his own tower up to try and get this PYRE camp, take control. We still see players really... I mean, the PYRE is important, I will admit. It definitely plays a role. And if you use it well, it can be really powerful. So there's good reason for these players playing like they are, being very aggressive over this this PYRE camp. And notice how we don't see Magicall actually killing the units yet. This is pretty smart. He wants to wait until he knows he can attack these units without any third party from Pigeon. Now, we did see a little bit of an engagement there, a little spat, and there was one Zentari that went down. I didn't notice what units for Pigeon went down. Now Magicall has enough forces so that he thinks he can get the PYRE, and he does. Pigeon unable to do anything about that specifically, especially with these Magi kind of just moving forward a little bit so he can get hollowed ground wherever he wants. Now Magicall is taking advantage, and he's going to try and run up and kill this tower. Now this does leave this tower in the south pretty defenseless. This is pretty bold from Magicall. He is going to take down that tower in the north. He Empire's unbroken. That's pretty smart. Now, whether or not that was worth is you know, it's questionable. It's about 50 to 75 PYRE. I don't remember exactly how much Empire Unbroken is. And that's about 2 to 3 PYRE camps, you know, rotations of getting it. All for this tower out in the north. Now, this is pretty good for, I suppose, map vision and general army positioning. But so you don't have to avoid it. But at this point, Pigeon can't really move his army up in the north because of the positioning of this Legion Hall and tower. So he can't really move his army north in order to be able to attack potential expansions that Magicall might be trying to take. Something I didn't notice is Magicall has taken this base rather early as opposed to this base down here. This is pretty bold. I think I like it. He's taking advantage of the fact that he's got these 2 towers out here in the middle of the map. On the other side, Pigeon has taken his third fully in the standard spot to take your third bases. And he is playing a ground heavy army, except for the fact that he's getting the 2 air production buildings. So he's going to be trying to go into Thrums or something of that sort, maybe even Behemoths. We also see a Red Veil coming down. So this is a lot of tech coming out here. So we do see the Ether Maws at every base, and that is going to be important. We also see Hallowers from Magicall, which is interesting because I don't think I've ever seen Magicall make Hallowers before. And I am personally a huge fan of the Hallowers. I love them to bits. I wish they were used more often. So it's exciting for me to see Magicall use them. At the moment, Pigeon's army is just the Zakal Hunter as it has been for the whole game. And that doesn't really size up to this army at this point between the Magi and the Hallowers. So he is just trying to buy time for either these Thrums or his Hunter upgrades or something in order to be able to take a better fight. There are 5 Hallowers out on the map now, and the Hallower Zentari mix is really it makes for interesting games because of the fact that the Zentari use that hollowed ground that the Hallower drops when it shoots its target. The Zentari, what happens is the Zentari run forward, melee their target really up close, and then the Hallowers strike it with their ability, and then there's that hollowed ground, and then those Zentari have that additional ranged and speed attack. Oh man, the Hallower shots are really good. Magicall takes this tower and pushes Pigeon back on the back foot. Now we do see a lot of Thrums here. I don't know if Magicall has enough Zentari to be able to deal with this, or excuse me, Zephyrs. There are so many Thrums. I love this Thrum switch. He really leaned into it, and it's caught Magicall completely off guard. He doesn't have the anti-air to be able to deal with this. Now, I'll be interested to see whether or not he wants to get Castigators or more Zephyrs out now. Castigators or Zephyrs would be sufficient, I believe, but it all depends on how many he makes and how big of a deal he thinks the Thrums are. Now, we do see more Zakals and Hunters in production, not necessarily just Thrums, and I do think that has its benefits. What Magicall might think is that Pigeon is going hard on the Thrums and nothing else, and he might overcompensate, making too many Castigators or Zephyrs, and then the ground army will overwhelm. This may be what Pigeon is going for. Speaking of going for, Pigeon is being really aggressive, and he kind of can be. Now that the Zephyr count is a little bit higher, and it seems that he is going for Zephyrs as opposed to Cascaders, but I liked how aggressive he was getting. He knows that he has the advantage, and he is definitely utilizing that. We see a base in the top corner here finish from Magicall. So that is his 4th base since he has not taken this. And we also see a base from Pigeon. So these players are even on the bases currently. We do see Scepters out. I didn't mention them earlier because they weren't really being super effective. And now they're being chased away by all of these Thrums. On the other side, though, we do see Magicall coming in to try and kill this base here, this expansion from Pigeon. This would be a pretty painful loss from Pigeon, as he is now down a base, but he may get caught out of position here. Infuse comes down on the units. There are not much Howlers left here. Infuse from Pigeon as well. The Thrums are putting in work. The Zephyrs are trying to focus them. Magi uses its ability, but all these units are going to get cleaned up. All the Howlers are gone, and that is major for Pigeon because the Howlers are very expensive units. Getting those is vital to winning this game. And now Magicall is the one that's on the back foot. How the turntables. There's very little army for Magicall, and Pigeon is going to take advantage of that. He's going to take this position, and now he's going to have control of the center part of the map. This army is coming back to try and defend this, but he can't really engage into this. There's just too much from Pigeon. Now with that tower gone, Pigeon smells blood in the water. He wants to finish this game, and honestly, I don't blame him. He's down in economy, and he's down in tech. He really needs to try and finish this off as soon as possible, and he is doing it well. He is going for the throat. There's a lot of Zentari up here up this ramp, and they do have hollow ground. That is pretty scary. Pigeon doesn't want to mess with it, but he does have Thrums, and there is no anti-air here from Magicall. He is ether starved. He does not have the ether to be able to make the anti-air that he wants. As Pigeon, I would definitely be attacking these forces with your Thrums. You definitely need to try and go for the throat at this point. We do see a small army being produced by Pigeon, and this is exactly what he needs to be doing. He's not trying to spend money on regenning his economy. He's trying to end the game, and that's exactly what he needs to be doing right now. On the back end, just straight Zentari from Magicall. He no longer has any Howlers, so just the straight Zentari without hallowed ground are going to be pretty rough. He does have Sharu, so now we know where all of the economy in terms of ether was going for Magicall. He was trying to get Sharu tech, which is fine, but he doesn't have any anti-air for these Thrums. This army is getting pushed in. Oh, Pigeon is coming in. He's diving. Sharu shots coming out, eliminating all of the hunters. But there's so many Zakals out here right now, and the Thrums are going ham on those Sharu. Hollowers are out here now as well. Reinforcements coming in from Pigeon, and this is a pretty rough fight because it was on hollowed ground, and all those Zentari really put in the work against those Zakals. So Pigeon does lose the fight, and once again, the turns have tabled. We now see Pigeon being the one on the back foot, and that was a pretty rough fight for him. He is now down on economy and down on tech, with Sharu being out now. It is pretty scary as Pigeon. You've got to be careful what engagements you take. Although, as I say, I do say Sharu were out. Pigeon did snipe off the 2 Sharu that were living, and it doesn't seem that Magicall has remade them as of yet. Right now, though, Magicall is taking down these rocks. He does want to lean into that economic lead that he's got and try and stop any form of economy coming down for Pigeon. Pigeon's army was slightly out of position, and these Magi's do siege up for that hollowed ground, and these Zentari are going to be so powerful in this hollowed ground. Pigeon is going to push into this. I don't know if he needs to do that. These Zentari are so powerful. Infuse coming down, hollower shots as well. We see an ability being used there from Pigeon. I didn't quite catch what it was. And these Zentari are so powerful, dude. On hollowed ground, they just rip up anything in their way. They have bonus attack range and attack speed, and that really shows in that fight. Magicall taking that one by a landslide, and it seems like that's going to be it. We do see the Thrums trying to go for the base, the main base of Magicall in the back, but Magicall was prepared with Fire Singers, and it seems like that's going to be it for Pigeon. He doesn't really have any army or economy left. He's going to try and edge it back with this lone base, but it doesn't look good for Magicall, or excuse me, Pigeon. It does not look good. Magicall with around 4,700 army supply, well, army value. Pigeon only on 1,600. It does tell a story. We see Sharu out now again for Magicall as well. He also has map control, so the PYRE is something that he is getting. We may see one last ditch effort from Pigeon to try and attack here, but he is just down on the tech. He doesn't quite have the count of Thrums to be able to win here. Nice Sharu shot from Magicall, and that does quite end most of the lives of the hunters. And there are enough Zephyrs out here now that the Thrums are just not able to get the damage that they need in order to be able to win this back. Pigeon does retreat for now, and he, realizing his position, GG's out. Well played from both players. That was a very close game. It was back and forth for a little while, right until the end. So well done